Good evening and welcome to the EFL edition of KB Terrace Talk. We're back again. It's me and Bez. It's been an hectic weekend, Easter football. Some shocks in there, but yeah, it's interesting. Are you looking forward to predicting these ones, mate?
I am. It feels like we've been predicting every other day with the Easter weekend, but we've got through that, and there were some cracking games, and like you said, some surprises, and we still don't really know who's going down from the Championship. We don't know who's going to get that second spot. I mean, I think top is probably sealed now in Coventry, and then you still got the playoffs as well. So yeah, all exciting. Looking forward to it.
Good stuff. So we're going to crack straight into it. We'll start with the first game, promotion sort of contest. This one. So Millwall, who had a cracking performance, and then they're going to be playing West Brom, my team that I did predict will stay up. I'm going to go 2-1 here. It's going to be a bit of a shock. So now Millwall are sort of fourth on 72 points, but equal second now with 72 points with Ipswich. Ipswich have played, I think, 2 games less, actually, Ipswich have played at the minute. So Ipswich are on form. But I just feel that West Brom will sort of win this. I think they'll win the home games. I've gone 2-1 to West Bromwich Albion. I think they've got enough quality to stay up. I think the nerves will hit Millwall a little bit this game, and I can just see West Bromwich taking it 2-1.
To be fair to West Brom, I mean, obviously I did say I felt they were going to struggle with the appointment or the temporary appointment of James Morrison, but they're undefeated in 5 games, and it just shows that they're battling for points. 3 draws.
What I'm talking about is that's what it shows, Bezza boy.
Yeah, it'll look there for you. But yeah, fair play to West Brom. I honestly thought they're in deep trouble, but they have, as I said, the 5 games unbeaten. And it's almost disappointing for our team, Rotherham, because every time a team do get a manager, a new manager, or a change of manager, you do seem to get some sort of bounce. Whether it be temporary, whether it be short term, you still get a bounce. And at Rotherham, they've just not had that. And I've not had that for the last 2 or 3 times I've had a new manager, incredibly. But yeah, fair play to West Brom. So I'm not surprised you've gone a West Brom win. The reason I've got a Millwall win is because I still think Millwall are clearly the better side than West Brom. I do think West Brom might think they're safe or might think they're a lot safer than they were 3-4 weeks ago, and they might be a little bit complacent. And Millwall's still a good side, and they still went to Middlesbrough on Good Friday and won 2-1. They lost at home to Norwich, but I'd argue Norwich should be fighting for that top 2 place as well. And obviously a bad start for them is Dunham. But yeah, Millwall are a better side. They lost to an informed Norwich. Apart from that, the record or the last 5 games is relatively good. So yeah, Millwall win for me 2-1.
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, they had that great win against Middlesbrough and then lose to Norwich. But like you said, Norwich are in good form, and we've said it on here. They're a good side. They should have been challenging really this season. On to the next game, Coventry City versus Sheffield Wednesday. So Sheffield Wednesday managed to hold Leicester to a draw, which obviously broke your coupon, I think, and kind of shocked me at the same time as well. So I just think Wednesday are dead and buried, and I just don't think they've got anything in the locker. I can't see anything other than Coventry running away with this quite comfortably. But the fact that Wednesday are fighting, the fact that it looks like there's a bit more positivity around the club, it looks like the takeover is going to be complete there. So I think they'll have fire in the bellies, and players maybe sort of wanting to earn a new deal at Sheffield Wednesday next season. So that's why I haven't just put a wipe out like 3-0. I think Wednesday will take the lead in this game, but then obviously the quality and the ability of Coventry will overrun them in the sort of second half, and they'll run out 3-1 winners for me.
Yeah, not for me. I mean, again, it was a good point against Leicester City, but I think that was more to do with the fact that Leicester weren't great. It wasn't a great day for them. And to be fair, I was watching the game, actually, because obviously Rotherham weren't playing on Monday, so I was watching this game. And, they hit the ball, they hit the post, keeper. That goalkeeper for Wednesday is absolutely awesome, that Pierce Charles. He's going to be some goalkeeper, I'm telling you. He were exceptional. He made save after save after save. So, yeah, I just think that they've put a lot of effort into that Leicester game and got a draw. I just think they'll go into this game as Coventry maybe a little bit more tired. And obviously Coventry are an attacking side anyway. They tend to overrun teams, and I just can't see anything but a 4 or 5-0 win for Coventry. So that's why I've gone 4-0.
Sound. Next game. We've both
Leah Coventry up in your opinion or not?
Yeah, I think Coventry are up. I think I've said all along, I think they're the best team in the league, and I think they'll win the league. I think they're already promoted, but yeah, I think they're up. This was a difficult one. We haven't gone the same score, but we've both gone for a draw. I really rate Norwich, but I really rate Ipswich as well. Had it been at Ipswich, I'd have probably gone for an Ipswich win. But because it's at Norwich and the form that they're in, I can't see Norwich losing this game. So I've just gone 1-1.
Yeah, this will be a great game for the neutral. I mean, it is seen as a local derby, even though it's 40 miles between the city of Norwich and the town of Ipswich. Now, I don't know if you know, Lee, but Norwich have got this kind of brilliant run over Ipswich, and Ipswich did beat Norwich in the reverse fixing. I think that's the first time Ipswich have beaten Norwich for about 20 years or something like that. Norwich fans, Ipswich fans, comment below. Just let us know what the timescale is. But I do know that Ipswich had not beaten Norwich for a long time. And even when Ipswich were winning promotion to the Premier League and Norwich were like mid-table, they still couldn't beat it. I think that were two draws, if I remember correctly. It's weird. I think Norwich will definitely get something out of this game. Whether it's a draw or a win, I don't know. I've gone for the draw because, as you rightly say, Lee, two very good sides. Norwich underperformed this year, as we've already said. Ipswich are one of the better sides in the division as well. So, yeah, I just think they'll cancel each other. And derbies as well. A lot of derbies do tend to end in stalemates as well. So, yeah, another good reason to have it. But, yeah, be a good game, this. And I'll try and watch this game, actually. I'm not sure when it is, but I'll try and watch this game because I think it will be an interesting game.
Coolio. On to the next game, QPR versus Bristol. Two teams that I don't rate really. Just pointless championship clubs, middle of the road. I'm just going a bore draw, 0-0.
Yeah, again, not many goals either, I don't think. I've just gone for a QPR win just because they're the home side and they're normally quite strong at home. And obviously, recently they've had a bit of an uplift in form. They've won 3 out of the last 4 games and drawn away at Preston. So I just expect them to continue that. Fair play to Hodgson. He's gone in there. I think he lost his first game, but 2 wins since then. A win at Charlton, a win at Sheff United. So, fair enough. They're not scoring or conceding a lot, Bristol City, which is why I do think this game will be very low on goals. I just think QPR will nick it. But as you said, Lee, it's not the most exciting game. This is literally 11 v 12, which is the bang down the middle of the league. So you couldn't get any more boring if you tried.
Next up, we've got Charlton versus Preston. And again, I've gone for a 0-0. Preston in 14th. Charlton safe now, really. Probably need a point to hit 50 points. But I think Charlton are virtually safe now. This point will guarantee them safety. So I've gone 0-0.
Yeah, again, very similar to the last game QPR, Bristol City, a very low amount of goals again. Again, I've just gone Charlton just because they're the home side. And to be fair to Charlton, they're very inconsistent. When I've noticed that when they go for a bad spell and you look like the game dragged into that relegation kind of challenge, they get a win. And I just think it's the sort of game that they do win. These are the sort of games of what ensured Charlton still in this league. Preston, again, I thought Preston were going to be near the bottom, and they might well end up close to the bottom, but they're not been in the relegation battle all season. You've got to credit the club and the manager for that. Obviously, started the season really well, and they've kind of faded away as the season's gone on. But yeah, Charlton 1, Preston 0 for me.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting a Saudi takeover as well, Preston. So that could make a big difference to Preston. They may not be just the middle of the road championship, which they've done well to get, because I see Preston as a similar sized club to Rotherham.
They are.
So.
They're not. Preston aren't like a massive club. Like what I would say about Preston is they've got a great history, haven't they? They've got like a statue outside the ground of a well-known player. Is it Tom Finney, isn't it? So they are historically they have been quite big, but I get the attendances I think are no more than 14,000-15,000. I do like the stadium actually at Preston, and also they've obviously got the famous Spud Row now who sponsor the team, don't they? So yeah, fair play if they get the Saudi taken, fair play.
It's now or never. The next game. I mean, I don't know what's been happening with Leicester City. I mean, I fully expected them to beat Sheffield Wednesday. Fully expected them to get out of this mess, but they're in deep trouble and they've got to win this game. And the only reason I'm putting them to win against Swansea is Swansea are in about 15th place. They probably got on the beach. Probably nothing to play for, and Leicester have got. There's no other option on this game for Leicester, so I'm just putting my eggs in a basket that Leicester are going to go all out attack and win this. I'm going to say 1-0. Have I got trust in Leicester? Probably not, but I just feel the fact that they've got to win and they're at home, and if they don't win, they go down for me. That this is the last chance, really. They should be beating teams like Sheffield Wednesday at home if you want to stay up. If they don't win this game, they deserve to get relegated, in my view.
Yeah, and I agree.
They also appealed their 6-point deduction today, and that got rejected. So they're not going to get any points back either. So they have got to start winning.
Do you know that the 6-point deduction thing? Because I saw that about an hour ago. I wonder if that'll help them, because I just wonder if in the back of their minds they thought, do you know what, we're going to get these 6 points back. It doesn't actually matter what we do on pitch. And now they know that they're not getting them back. Maybe they will put that little bit of extra effort in. I don't know. But we really, I think if you look at all our recordings, we've had Leicester to win pretty much every week, bar maybe 1 or 2. We do have the faith. And like you said before, Lee, if you look at the squad's brilliant. The squad should be challenging top 6. Never mind trying to stay out of relegation. It's obviously mismanaged.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but we've been burnt by this before. We've looked at Rotherham and thought they shouldn't be where they are.
Yeah,
we put it on mismanagement. We get a new manager, and nothing's really changed. Other players that are at Leicester, the same at Rotherham, have they checked out? Do they not want to be there? Is something going on behind the scenes at the club where players are just not happy? Because, like you said, on paper, that squad should be more than capable of challenging the top end of Championship rather than this bottom end. But like you said, we keep backing them, and they keep losing or drawing. So they're not really giving us anything to suggest that they will stay up. They look a shadow of the team. And like you said, sometimes individual players, like we've seen this season at Rotherham, don't always make a great team.
Yeah.
And this is the case at Leicester. So I'm going to back them this week. If they let me down, I'm going to put them down to lose every game from now to the end of the season.
I think you're right. I think what I have realised is with Rotherham as well, as you said, we've kind of realised it in the last few days, haven't we? You look at Rotherham and Leicester's individual players, and they're very good. But what we've kind of realised, haven't we, is that an individual player who's good is not as good as a player who works in a team. And it looks like Leicester are in the same boat as Rotherham. They've probably got 10, 11 fantastic individual players who aren't working together as a team, and that's why they are struggling. I have to say, I was reluctant to put a Leicester win. I only did it because, like you say, it's almost a last chance saloon for Leicester. I don't know if you know, they're a point behind. Are they a point? Yeah, point behind Portsmouth. Portsmouth's got a game in hand, but they're 4 points behind West Brom. So if Portsmouth were to win that game in hand, then Leicester would be 4 points behind them as well. It is almost a must-win game for him, like you said, and that's the only reason why I've gone Leicester win.
Yeah, I think Leicester will still stay up. I think it'll be Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, and Portsmouth that are relegated, but we'll see. But I do think the problems with Leicester are off the pitch. I think they're in free fall. They dropped from the Premier League, and now they're very similar to Rotherham. Rotherham dropped from the Championship, and then had a bad season in the first year back where we thought we'd get promoted, similar to what Leicester did, and then this season they fell off a cliff, same as what Rotherham have done. So I think there's problems behind the scenes at Leicester, and I think it is now transpiring on the pitch. And they could easily do a Rotherham and struggle in League One, and then maybe get relegated again. Who knows? But unless a change of ownership happens at Leicester, they could be in for a long few seasons, in my view. On to the next. We've got Middlesbrough versus Portsmouth. So I think Portsmouth are going down. I think they're an awful team. I don't think the Championship quality at all. And I can only see a Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough seem to be bottling it at the minute. They've got to get back to winning ways. They're at home. There's nothing better. I think they'll put on a show for the fans. I've gone 3-0.
Yeah, Portsmouth are in trouble, as we kind of said, didn't we, before? We're talking to pre-lobby. Portsmouth have got difficult fixtures coming up. Now, Middlesbrough have done exactly what we said, where, towards the end of the season, they look odds on, if you like, to get that second spot, and the form has gone downhill. In their last 5 games, they've drawn 3 and lost 2, 0 wins. This is a must-win for Middlesbrough. Now, to be fair to Middlesbrough, the game against Millwall, they actually dominated the game, and they were very unlucky not to win that game. I think they had something like 25 to 30 shots, and Millwall had like 6, and Millwall got the win. So they are getting a little bit unlucky. And, Portsmouth are a team who, again, form-wise, one at worst in the division, lost 3, drawn 2 at last 5, and their chance to get a win was on Monday against Oxford, and they blew it. Now, they actually got a credible draw because when I had to send them after like half an hour, so fair play, but that was still an opportunity wasted. And just can't say anything but on Middlesbrough. I think they'll dominate the game, and I think it'll be comfortable, and that's why I've gone 2-0 to Middlesbrough.
Yeah. Next up, Oxford versus Watford. I mean, I don't rate Oxford at all. I don't. They remind me of like Lincoln going into the Championship. I think they're already down. Watford, I mean, the 10th, aren't they? I don't think they've got a chance of getting in the playoffs. So I think they may hope that they're on the beach, but I still think they'll have enough to win this game. I've gone 1-0 to Watford.
Yeah, what I like about Oxford is that, again, very similar kind of situations when Rotherham are in the Championship, and fair play to Oxford last season and managed to stop up. And to me, the only reason it did stop up was because of the manager they employed, and that was Guy Rowett. And I have to say, I'm still amazed that they've sacked Rowett this season. Now, I get it. Oxford fans are probably fed up with the football because we all know going out football is really poor. But to me, when you're winning games or picking up points, it doesn't actually matter. And they have now risked going down just so they can watch a little bit better football. Now, the difference between Oxford and Rotherham is, Rotherham are never ambitious enough in the Championship, as we always say. Eventually they signed a £1 million player who turns out not to be very good. But Oxford, they did buy that Hellick for £2 million. And a rock at the back. He was instrumental in one of the goals. I think he might have scored actually, but one of the goals against Portsmouth. And I can remember watching game, and he was involved and thinking that's why you pay £2 million for a player, because this player is going to help them stay up. Now, it does look like Oxford is still going to go down. And what it does tell me is that it actually takes more than just spending a couple of million here or a couple of million there in order to get a team who are traditionally a League One side and keep them in the Championship year after year after year. And maybe that's why Stuart never did it, because he knew it was such a difficult task. I don't know. But yeah, it's a massive game for Oxford, this, because they're at home. My worry for Oxford again in this game is that Watford, a little bit like we've already discussed with Leicester and Rotherham, Watford are a team, I think, full of good individual players who don't necessarily play as a team. And if just one of those players turns up, then Oxford can be in trouble. So yeah, I'm just going for a 1-1. Could go either way, but I'm in 1-1.
Next up, Sheffield United versus Hull City. Oh, we have actually gone a score the same, actually. This is the first one, 2-1. And I was reluctant to pick Sheffield United because I think they're the team that have underachieved with Leicester the most in the Championship. I'm amazed that fans aren't calling for Chris Wilder to be sacked. I'm amazed. I think he's done an awful job since he's gone back there. I listened to his interview the other night on Radio Sheffield, and he's kind of said he's going to get rid of a lot of players and he's going to have a real shake-up. But if he can't get a tune out of that squad, he shouldn't be the manager, in my view. I think he's been awful. There's always the saying, you never go back. I don't think he should have gone back. He was sacked incorrectly at the time when he did lose his job the first time, after losing narrowly in the playoffs, I believe. But even still, this time around, it's just not worked for him. And I don't think it is going to work for him. I think he is probably one of the most overrated managers I've ever seen. He's done all right before. He was at Oxford when he did okay there, and he's done well at Sheffield United getting him up, but then he were always getting relegated. So if Sheffield United want to be a Premiership club, they've got to look beyond Wilder anyway. A bit like Rotherham at Championship level. Paul Warren would always get them there, but he weren't a Championship manager. They'd never kept us up in the Championship, ever. I don't care what anybody says. He would never have kept us up in the Championship. And they need to stop the love affair with Chris Wilder, because he hasn't got them up this season. And I'd look elsewhere, personally. But if he gets them up, they've still got to get rid of him anyway, because he's not a Premiership manager. That's been proven. I've gone 2-1 this one, purely because they're at home. All are very inconsistent, but they are fifth, so all do need to win. So that's why I was a bit reluctant to pick Sheffield United, but Sheffield United are only on 51 points. That is abysmal. It's embarrassing, really, with that squad that they've got. So, yeah, I've gone 2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's a draw or even if Hull end up winning, because Sheffield United's form is erratic, the team's a bit erratic, and the manager for me isn't good enough.
It's interesting. I mean, if I go back to Chris Wilder when he was at Northampton and then Oxford, I think it was. and I don't know if you remember this, Lee, but when we had Warnock come in and he did his magic trick and he kept Rotherham up, and obviously it was decided about a month into the summer that he wasn't going to be staying at Rotherham. I don't think no one knows why. Is it him who left? Is it the chairman who weren't going to support him? It'll probably be the latter of those two. But Chris Wilder was actually at Oxford at the time. We were in League Two. And, Chris Wilder is a Sheff Utd legend in terms of playing and supporting them and obviously his managerial exploits. He's also technically a little bit of a legend at Rotherham because he played 200 times, I think, for Rotherham. And there was a rumour that we could have got him in. And the thing were, Chris Wilder, I think he was, if I remember correctly, he was on his way to Charlton. And then Sheffield United decided to sack their manager, and that's when they brought him in. And I would have loved him at Rotherham, I really would. But it's weird because he's always had a good career at United in terms of managing, but everywhere else he's been, he has struggled. Middlesbrough, Watford, I think he might have been at West Brom as well. He struggled in all these places. Now, this season, I do get your point. They're on 51 points, which is not a lot. The quality of the squad is good. And I do agree with you. They should have been performing a lot better even while they're in charge. But I would still give him the chance to get his own players in the summer and see where it goes from there. I mean, Sheffield United shouldn't have sacked him in the first place. They were literally, a goal away or 5 minutes away from promotion to the Premier League last season. And to get him sacked and bring in an unknown, well, not an unknown, but a foreigner who, the foreigners that Sheffield United never really worked, was a massive call and a really poor decision. And it probably has taken Wilder a lot more of his effort to turn it around. I mean, at one stage, they did look like United could go down, to be fair, and he's managed to at least get away from that. But I do agree, the season's kind of petered off for them. And I think the form as well is not great, is it? They're not won for 5 games, and it does seem like they've given up a little bit, which isn't great. I would say if he starts pulling next season, then I'd be looking at getting rid of him as well. And I'm interested to Sheffield United fans because Lee, to be fair to him, he thinks he's been asking for Wilder's sacking for at least 3 weeks. So I'm interested to see what the fans think now after you got a bit of hate in the last video. Now with 2 games further on and it's no wins again, what are United's thoughts now, fans' thoughts now? So comment again below. But on this game, I've just got a United win. Hull, Hull has stung over the line a little bit. A couple of draws over the Easter break. One was a good draw against Coventry. The one against Oxford. Just United being at home, and surely they're going to get a win at some point. That's the main reason I've kind of gone 2-1.
Next up, Southampton versus Derby. Yeah, I'm surprised you've gone quite close. I've gone an easy victory for Southampton. Playing some good.
You don't like Derby at all, do you? You don't like them at all, do you?
I don't think they're very good. I think the best striker is injured as well. He got injured. Is it Angiman, whatever it's called? He's out for a while. I don't rate Derby. I thought they would have got relegated. I think they should get relegated, if I'm honest, just for having a ram as their badge. And I believe a lot of them participate in fun time with animals. But other than that, it's not a bad place, Derby. But no, I just don't rate Derby, mate. I look at the squad and I think they've overachieved this season. Fair play. I do rate the manager. Eustace, is it called? Eustace?
Yeah, John Eustace, yeah.
I do rate him. I don't know why he left Blackburn to go there because I don't think it's much of a progress. I know he used to play for him and that, so I guess that's the reason. But Derby are a massive club. Don't get me wrong. I think they got 31,000 at the weekend for an home game, which is massive. So credit to the fans. They do turn up to watch them. But I think Southampton will have too much for them. I've gone 3-0.
Yeah, I agree with that last statement. The Southampton will win this game. Southampton's form is incredible. They've won 4 games in a row, including an absolute hammering at Wrexham, 5-1. I don't, no one really saw that coming, and that kind of swapped Wrexham and Southampton's league positions around, and that's the game that will see Southampton guarantee a playoff place. And I do think they'll finish at least fifth as well. Southampton, the sixth at the minute. I think they'll finish fifth. And do you know what? The top twos that are not out of the question yet. They've got a game in hand of it. So obviously Ipswich have got 2 games in hand over everyone, but Southampton have got a game in hand on Middlesbrough and Millwall. If they win that game in hand, they go 3 points behind Middlesbrough and Millwall. Now, they are relying on Ipswich, messing up. So if Ipswich can lose to Norwich, let's say, and then maybe drop points elsewhere, then Southampton are right in it. And I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know what their fixtures are. Let me just have a quick look at their fixtures. If they got Ipswich to play, that's unfortunate. You see, they've got Derby, Blackburn, Swansea.
If then they beat Ipswich, they're capable of beating Ipswich.
Yeah, sorry, they have got Ipswich to play. They have. I'll tell you what, right? So Southampton's fixtures are Derby, Blackburn, Swansea, Bristol City. That's 4 wins. Then they've got Ipswich at home, right? And they win that game. I'll tell you what, do you know what? I'm going to put my neck out here and say Southampton are going to get second. I really am. I can just see it. Yeah. I think Ipswich will lose. They'll drop points against Norwich. I really do think they will. Let me just check.
A good side Ipswich, though. That's the thing.
Ipswich have also got Middlesbrough to play as well. I'm telling you. I'll tell you what, Southampton, all you have to do, if you can win those next 4 games and then beat Ipswich, you're right in it. So I think they will win this. And even if they don't get second.
5 games on the trot. That's like saying Rotherham can still stay. Because if we win 5 games now, Rotherham stay up.
I know. But they're a team. They've won 5. They've won 4 in a row already. That's what they're on, 4 in a row. So they can do it. They will win this game. I just think it'll be close because I still think, I know you don't like them, but Derby aren't as bad a side as what I think you think they are. I didn't realise that Adjiman was out. I know that Sammy Swanwick was injured, weren't he, on international duty, but I didn't realise that Adjiman was out. That is the big mix.
I think I've seen that he went off with cruciate ligament.
Right. Oh dear, that is bad then. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, what I would say is Derby have still got a chance at playoffs, but they can't really afford to drop points in this game.
Come on, man, they're not getting.
They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. I mean, I just think they'll be closest because I think Derby are better than you think they are.
They'll finish mid-table next season. They'll probably get relegated.
I don't know why you don't even like. You don't even. There's no reason for you to dislike Derby as well. I don't know why you dislike them, really. I don't like how they're playing white kits. I hate white kits, mate.
There's no hate. I don't think they're very good. Same as another team I don't think they're very good, and you seem to rate them, Blackburn. They're getting beat by Stoke. I've gone 1-0.
My Blackburn are above your West Brom, I'll have you now.
Yeah, but they're not as good as West Brom. I'm not having that. So I've gone 1-0 here, Stoke.
Is that it? Yeah, low scoring game.
Come on. We're talking about Blackburn and Stoke. I mean,
it's not an exciting game. Low scoring game.
Blackburn are 19. Stoke are better than Blackburn. It'll finish 1-0.
And one thing you have to say, Blackburn aren't going down. There's 6 points clear, a third bottom, with 5 games to go.
Only because there's some poor team called Oxford. And
so there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Bush got it wrong. That's it. Everyone shout at the screen. Lee Bush got it wrong.
Hang on, you got it wrong. You said West Brom were going down as well. They won't go down.
I owned up to that. I owned up to it, and I said fair play. You didn't. You just said Blackburn are rubbish. Anyway, so Stoke and Blackburn, I just think it'll be a boring 0-0 game. Do you know what? Stoke, I hope next season they have a better season because I do really like Mark Robbins. He was literally my favourite Rotherham manager, Mark Robbins. So I do wish that they have a successful season.
I hate Mark Robbins. He screwed us over to go to Black.
Barnsley. He didn't screw us over. Barnsley were in 2 leagues of others.
Crap. Crap.
What I liked about Robbins is he was the first manager and the only manager we've had who you could see was very clever in the way he did his tactics. Like, so when you take a corner or set piece and it goes short and people go, oh, bloody hell, not sure. But it ends up being like a clever routine. Mark Robbins used to do that, you see. And no other manager's ever done it. And that's, if you like, the main reason I liked him.
Fair enough. Last game. Birmingham versus Wrexham. Bloody hell. You don't normally pick Birmingham to win. I'm shocked at that one. Wrexham, for me, a bit of a stumbling block. I think Birmingham are another team that have underachieved this season. I think they're better than what their league position currently suggests. I don't think they've got enough quality to come out of the game winning. I think Wrexham, after getting a good old spanking, will tighten up at the back for this game. And I think it'll be quite a dull game. I've gone 1-1.
Yeah, I've only gone a Birmingham win because something what you said there, really. If you look at these two sides, obviously both teams were in League One last season. It were Birmingham who ran away with it. I actually think Birmingham probably have got a better team than Wrexham. But what Wrexham have got in loads and loads, and that's like spirit and never the attitude, and the 3-0 down and they think they're going to win 4-3 kind of mentality. And not many clubs have that these days, but Wrexham and Phil Parkinson have that. I just think that, like you said, I think they've won that season.
Do you know where that comes from? Do you know where that comes from?
Do you think National League?
No, culture from within the club. You look at them owners that are there. Yeah, they're so positive. They communicate with the fans. There's a real good connection with the ownership and the supporters, and everybody feels involved in Wrexham's rise up.
I agree, yeah.
It's all been played out on Netflix and all that sort of stuff. Rightly or wrongly, it's brought them some real attention to that football club. And people going, oh, it's not a fairy tale because they've spent more. No, they haven't. Birmingham, if you look on net spend, have probably spent more than Wrexham. Yeah. So the nonsense spared by its own money is nonsense.
No.
The culture that the Reynolds have put into Wrexham, you can't buy that. Yeah.
No.
You can't buy that.
I agree.
And that's what they've done, and that's where the spirit on the pitch comes from. Because I reckon the owners, how transparent they are with the fans, I think that they're exactly the same with the players. And I think if you spoke to their players, like, I bet if you had an interview with Ollie Rathbone and said, what's the difference between playing for Wrexham and playing at Rotherham? And I bet you £1,000 he would say, the owners treat me better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
You want for nothing. They probably put up in nice hotels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Training facilities. And that goes a long way with football players. And it's saving life. Where if you're working for a company and you think that they don't give a shit about you, the effort will tend to mirror that. However, if you think you're working for a company, you think, actually, this company looks after me. They have got my best interests at heart. You'll go that extra mile for that company.
Yeah,
even sometimes you're not paid to do it. You'll go and do it because of the way you've been treated. And I think Wrexham players feel that from that ownership model, and I think the fans feel it. And there's just such a good feel to the football club, and that's why they've got the success. Not just money. I know people are going to mention that, but if you look at their net spend in the Championship, I reckon they're not in the top 10 for net spend.
Yeah, I mean, and also as well, I think like even when they do spend money, they don't just go and buy like someone who's absolutely brilliant football player. They only buy certain type of players, and Rathbone's a great example because Rathbone, he's always had a bit of quality about him, but he's a hard worker. He likes press, he likes getting stuck in, and they tend to sign those sort of players as well.
Again, it's designed to play a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's where other clubs, i.e. Sheffield United, where they will sign the best possible. So Sheffield United, they've gone, right, we'll sign the best possible players for this level, or players that are capable of playing in the Premiership, like Bamford, Phillips, all of them. And then you've got your Hamers that are probably, if you were picking the best sort of Championship players, they're going to be in that reckoning.
Yeah.
Whereas Wrexham don't do that. They think, right, does this player fit our style of play? Yeah. So that's what they do. Because I think Wrexham have probably got the worst manager as well in that league. In the whole
Maybe.
league.
I actually like Phil Parkinson, but I do see what you're saying. I mean, Phil Parkinson did have consistent players.
Phil Parkinson is not a top-end Championship manager.
No, probably not.
For me, he's a League One manager, but he's outperforming himself at Wrexham. Credit to him. But he's a manager that fits their style of play as well.
Yes,
It works. So sometimes you don't, if you've got an identity and a style of play, you don't always need the best players and the best manager, because it's all designed around your style of play. You know, the players know what they're doing, and they're confident, and they want to play for the club. And that's what you're getting at Wrexham at the minute.
Agreed. Yeah, and then just on this game quickly, as you kind of said, I just think Wrexham, they're probably, because of all the effort they've put into the season, they're probably starting to tire a little bit with 2 games in a week every single week as well. And I just think Birmingham will get the win because of that. And that's why I've gone Birmingham 2, Wrexham 1.
Super. And that brings us to the end of our Championship predictions. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Obviously, if you're watching it on KB Terrace Talk Miller's edition, please go over to KB Terrace Talk EFL edition. Give that a follow. Subscribe to that channel, because going forward next season, you won't be seeing it on this channel. It will purely be on the EFL channel. We've got it on both at the moment. If you are watching it on the EFL channel, thank you for subscribing. Please share the videos for us, like the videos, put a comment in. We always respond to comments as well, good or bad. And thank you for watching. And
thanks, everyone.
Cheers. Thanks for watching.